parameter sets. We only have 10 more days before the final vote. 10 or 11 days until the final vote. So we need to get these things tight, and it's only going to happen if we challenge each other's ideas and are assertive with our opinions. So let me kick it off, and I'll time myself. Oh no, where is it? And the best place to start is on token logs so everyone can see your proposal. So this one is, I gotta share screen. Okay, starting my timer now for 5 minutes. This one is called $1 million entry into orogeny, corrected descriptions. Oh no, actually, I improved. Maybe I didn't submit it. Oh, I didn't submit it.
That one is for 38 minutes ago, so that might be the last one, right?
Yeah, but actually, I'm gonna submit this one right now. I'm so bad. Okay, so I'll share a different screen. It's supposed to be better CV. I took the $1 million entry into orogeny and improved the conviction voting for it. But I didn't submit it. So it's submitting right now. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There it is. So this is basically the $1 million orogeny, but with better conviction voting. The whole point behind this proposal, I only have 4 minutes left, is to make a $1 million common pool. It's very much inspired by, of course, Nate's entry to orogeny proposal and Zep's DAO Casino. I went with a relatively not robust conviction voting proposal so that we can have some real profitability in the DAO. And the big things to note are the strategy around the entry to exit tributes, a low reserve ratio, and $1 million common pool. So this proposal has a high entry tribute to make sure that, and the entry tribute's really high. It's 26% coming in with no exit tribute. So maybe I'll start here though. So the idea is very long vesting because it has a very weak reserve ratio, only a 10% reserve ratio, and a relatively small opening price, but this ends up creating for a lot of profitability because the opening price after the initial buy is $2.12. The reserve ratio is only 11.5%. I went with a commons tribute of 75% to give us a common pool at launch of $9.5 million. But because the entry tribute is so high, we end up getting, I gotta fix that. We end up getting 65,000 in the first tribute, which means that this is over $1 million. $1.010 million actually goes into this common pool. And but the challenge with a high entry tribute is that it gives the TEC, the rewards committee, less tokens. But the idea here is that only value aligned people will get into the hatch early on. But what's cool is it's not that bad. The strategy is to actually every month lower the entry tribute by 4% and raise the exit tribute by 2%. So every month we lower the entry tribute until it gets to about 2%, 6 months later. And then the exit tribute goes to 12% by the end of that. So that's what's cool is this gradual decrease of the entry tribute allows the value aligned people to contribute. But that being said, even if they know that it's going to go down 4%, the entry tribute is going to go down 4% in a month. You can see I made a bunch of these buys here for like 35K, 38K, 41K. This is how much we'd have to sell in tokens in a month to beat 4%. So I think still speculators will participate because to sell $1,000 a day basically in that month is not that hard. People are going to want to buy TEC tokens. We're going to be a thing. Look at all these external parties and outreach that we've been doing. Great community cost work. So I don't think it's hard to beat that 4%. I actually think smart people will want to speculate still on the TC. DAO voting, I went with 8% instead of 88%. This is because now we're an open community. Before, 88% made sense with the trusted seed, but 80% is more of like, there's going to be people we don't trust buying these tokens. So they might want to vote no on things and slow us down. And especially since I want to raise exit tributes in voting, I wanted to lower the support required. And the quorum I increased because we have delegation. But otherwise, it's the normal common voting pattern, 7-day vote duration. And for here, for orogeny, I went with 0.9 and 70 days. And this was just looking at I made some proposals for saying effective supply is 1,000 tokens so that I could have percentages here, basically. Kind of shows percentages. And assuming, oh man, okay, that's it. I will start another timer for questions.
Finish the conviction voting explanation.
Okay. Thank you. I will answer your question. I set it up so that each one of these, this is basically asking for $0, and then it's 13% for 13% of tokens is required to pass any proposals in 7 days. But in 2 weeks, it would be 7% of the voting tokens. In a month, it would be 3.5%. And in 3 months it'd be 2%. And I actually don't think 6 months matters because after 3 months the proposals get stale. I really want to add 1 day here to instead and get rid of 6 months if we have to. But what's cool is these are all in increments of 1%. So if you're asking for 1%, 2%, 3%, or 5% of the pool. And the pool really, I think it's going to start off with $1 million. So for our working group proposals and actual TE proposals, I think 800 is a good starting estimate. So you can kind of see that to get a big proposal passed, it takes 20% of people voting, and I think that's fair in 7 days. But it gets down to 10,000 tokens voting, and this is given the price. Well, so the number of tokens is not right. You should add a 0 here. So this is 10 times, because this is assuming only 100,000 tokens voting, when really it's 1 million tokens that'll be voting. So this will be to pass a proposal asking for $24,000, it'll take about 10 times as much money to pass it in 2 weeks. And that was something that optimist told me that I thought was really interesting to take. So yeah, any questions? Bonding curve, 3 years almost for vesting.
I have a question for I feel like people who the first buyers of the bonding curve, I feel like they will probably feel like this is they are so behind the game. It's the hatchers got the tokens 112% cheaper, and also they have to pay an entry tribute of 26%.
But the thing is the way I would spin that is that the hatchers are paying a commons tribute of 75%. So it's when the hatchers put their money in, only 25% of their money is going to the bonding curve, and the rest is going to the common pool. So now for everybody else, it's a 50% discount on fees. It's 26% is for the initial buyers, and then it's going to be reduced every month. But the fact is, if you buy and you pay this 26% tribute, you're probably still going to make money on your tokens. So and you're better off buying now because of the DAO casino approach than later.
I have a concern about this proposal. Yeah, I mean, you actually made the concern happen in my brain when you were talking about like, oh, I lowered for DAO voting, you lowered their support required to 80% because it's like anyone could be buying these tokens, and like we're actually just like depending on people to make there be an exit tribute. It's like we're depending on people we can't like trust and rely on, like the not trusted seed, in order to make like frequent proposals. Um, yeah, and I'm wondering if I don't know. Maybe we should make support required even lower if we're going to be doing something like, because it's like speculators can influence the decision to make speculation less favorable for them on the augmented bonding curve. So it's like they can buy tokens and then they won't want to increase the exit tribute or.
So while that's true, that it will be open, there will still be a huge base of trusted seed, right? There's 2 million tokens in the trusted seed, and for the token supply to get to 3 million, people would have to put in another $18 million into the bonding curve. So it will, before people even have before people even have half of the tokens that the trusted seed has, they would have to put in $18 million where the trusted seed only put in 1.5. So I don't think that'll happen very much soon. That's why I only reduced it a little bit.
That makes sense. Cool. Well, good proposal.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'll copy myself too. The copying is what makes this all worth it. Thank you, Loganat. Well, Zeptimus, do you want to take it for yours?
Yeah, let me share my screen and I'm going to present. I'm actually going to present the casino, but with the fork. I think it makes more sense. So yeah, if I can do that, I'll do that. I think I'm going to present it with with this. It makes it easier for me to check the numbers. Okay, TC Casino. Like on the first proposal of the TC Casino, we had a very low vesting, which could almost like if hatches start to sell, like since there is no liquidity on the not so much liquidity on the reserve, like it could break and people would have like the fear of selling. But with the vesting, we avoid that. And then the magic of this proposal is like we have almost all the money in the commons pool, so we have like $1.2 million in our common pool, so we can we can fund all these deep public goods and our operations. Like we have a lot of money to survive like for a very long time. Like,
can you hit launch?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. And then we have a very this is a casino, right? So the entry tribute and exit tribute must be low, so we incentivize people to speculate and the price now is 5 and then it's 2. It's like since there is very low money in the reserve, like only 33k at launch. I mean, after the initial buy, like it's almost 300k on the reserve. It creates an environment where a huge volatility, and we can incentivize speculation to fund our common pool. And then for the commons, I still think like we should have like the hatch parameters are working very good, and even in the future, like I feel like people who came in also have we all have a say, like when we want to make constitutional changes, if we want to increase entry and exit tribute, or we want to stop Celeste or whatever, like we really need all of us being together, and because otherwise it's when we make big changes, like I feel like almost everyone has to accept, and in the we can see in the hatch parameters, like it's working pretty good. And then like the DAO voting is pretty straightforward and standard. And then for the conviction voting, it's like entry into the origin, but a bit harder to pass. Like, and also like a conviction growth, it grows a bit faster too. Like it's only 20 days conviction growth. We could actually simulate in here. Like if we wanna, like if the stewards like are going to ask like almost like 40k, and in the common pool we have like 1.2 million, and the effective supply is like 1.5. And yeah, this would be like a real proposal. And if we want to pass it in a week, we would need like 314 tokens, which in a week, like if we really have a need, like we can do that. Like it's something we can pass, and it's we can do that, and it's not like so little, like like a few group of people could pass it. Like you need like some big community if you want to pass in 7 days. But then at the same time, like if you wait for 2 weeks, then it's also go to half, which is still like like a good amount. Like you have to think like every token is like, well, at the beginning it's a casino, right? But it would be it would be between 2 and 5 at the beginning at least. So it's quite a good money, like to pass a proposal. But but at the same time, this is good, like because we rely on our common pool so much to advance the token engineering field. And that's it for the TEC Casino.
Wow! Round of applause! Round of applause! That was beautiful. Beautiful. Does anyone have any questions? I'll start it off. Why have an opening price of 1.2? Why not lower it to make it less of a casino, or higher? Like, why'd you pick 1.2?
Still my oh yeah. At the beginning, I was 0.8, but then the initial the decision was actually make the reserve even lower. So like the lower the reserve, like the more casino. And actually, we could also put more money in the common pool, but then I was feeling like, my initial intention at the beginning was 0.8, but then I increased it to 1.2, and the intention was to make the reserve ratio even lower.
What's the vesting again?
The vesting on this proposal, it's pretty long. It's
okay, nice.
Like almost 3 years.
3 years.
And
does anyone else?
Oh,
sorry. Doesn't anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question, Septi. How are you going, or how does it coordinate the narrative of a TEC casino with a value-aligned community that in our values we say that we support more the value creation than the profit making of the community?
and this is why like almost all the money is on the common pool, where like the at the beginning of the bonding curve, like only the hatchers will say how this money is going to be, which projects are we going to advance, which how are we going to fund working groups, and like the bonding curve is just a place to have fun, and meanwhile you're having fun, you are funding you're funding the TE public goods, and it can attract like all of the all of the people who want to use D5 for and trade or whatever, just to gamble a bit in the bonding curve. But then they are funding they are doing good, right? Like it's not like they go in a real casino and then the money they're winning is just to make richer the people who is behind the casino. Here, if they come and gamble here, like they can earn money, of course, but even if they lose, they know like the money is being used to advance the public goods.
I have a question. How does the if we're like becoming a casino for like that perspective, and then we have we're making payouts in the same token, does that affect contributors in some manner? Like I'm wondering if like we have like a token that's supposed to be a casino, and then there's this incentive for those pump and dump groups to come over and do things with our token. So would that instability affect the commons badly, or would it should be all right?
I mean, yeah, there will be a volatility for sure. Like if you are staking and saving your TC tokens, the good thing is like if you're saving them, you're making the price go up so fast. But at the same time, like yeah, like it creates a lot of volatility. And the thing is like, like if contributors, they need, if there is a case like they need the money and they get from the reward system, for example, like the reward system is going to base on DAI basically. Like they will play in TC, but they will do the calculations on DAI, and they could just sell, and that would be fine for them. But then yeah, like the token is going like but as also it's a casino, right? So it can go down a lot, but it can also go up a lot. So yeah, I mean yeah.
I just want to say, for at least for the rewards, which you're considering, the 250K of initial buy with the slippage will turn into 480K. That's 85,000 tokens times $5.66. So technically, the reward board would have a lot of money. I guess kind of along the same lines of 5IV, like how do we market this? Like how do we and Wonka too? Like I feel like that's the real challenge. What do we do on Twitter? When we like, how would you should we say this is the casino? Come enjoy, entertain yourself with our Ponzi.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's the intention. Like, I mean, we need to work like on the marketing. I was not thinking on the marketing just yet, but yeah, I agree. Like and I think oh sorry, that's my timing.
Yeah, round of applause. Thank you, Zeptimus. Dow Casino. Now that's bold.
The bonding curve is a selling
Okay,
point
so
for fun. That's what I got out of that.
That's right. I think so. Okay, well let's pass it to Wonka. Wonka, you have a proposal?
Yeah, I will share my screen.
And really great work, Septimus. It really is a shelling or shilling point for fun. Fun public goods and have a damn good time while you do it. Who needs these like slot machines, really? Okay, go Wonka.
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, my proposal is called Numbers Made with Love. And my approach to this is a little bit different than Septis. I am more conservative, and I think like the value will not only increase by the flow of the token, but I actually think that scarcity adds value, and that like having the tokens like being valued by the value that we are creating and not by the market value. I think that's something that will end up giving a long-term stability to the project. So my opening price is 1.25 and a token freeze of 26 weeks and a token thaw of 52 weeks. That means half a year of freeze and 1 year of thaw. I think that it's good to have a long thaw because that way people can, if they need some revenue out of their TC, they can actually sell a bit, but always remaining with a little bit that is vested over time, and that way they can continue valuing their governance. And one good thing about this number 1.25 is that after the initial buy, the opening price will be 1.5 um, to the other people in the market, and I place a common tribute of 44%, to have a common pool of 50,000, 50, 50, 100, 50, 50,000. That's the number. um, 550, 50, yeah. And a common tribute of a 16% and an exit tribute of an 8%. I think that it's good to have a high entry tribute for the people that enter into the economy, and also to have a medium exit tribute to not promote the people that already have TC, for selling them at any occasion, but to look for the right moment and the right time. And yeah, one experiment that I did here is if someone buys 1 million of wrap XDAI, he will tribute 150K to the common pool, and that will give him around 400,000 TC. Because I think that the market is really wild, and we don't know who is bad intentioned, and I think that there are people who has bad intentions in the market, and whales that they just want to mess up with projects. So I really want to not stimulate yeah, that kind of people joining our economy. I want to keep it value aligned. For the Tau voting, I left all default. I only reduced 1 day of the delegated voting period, so that you can have 3 days to change your vote if you desire. And for the funding, I place a
50 seconds left.
yeah, a spending limit of 11%, a minimum conviction of 3%, and a conviction growth of 14 days. And the idea is that it's relatively easy to pass proposals that ask between a 6 and an 8% in different times, but it's hard to pass a proposal that asks for more than a 9% of the common pool in different times. Yeah.
Wow, great proposal, Wonka. This is very nice. Very nice conviction voting params. Everyone, give him a round of applause. Round of applause. Beautiful proposal. And right on time, too. The buzzer just about to go off. I'll stop it. Does anyone have any questions for Wonka?
I just think, like, is there any plan of reducing the entry tribute or the exit tribute, like, in the future, or do you want it to be stable with this proposal?
No, I think this is something that can be changed. But for the initialization, I think that we should be careful with the people that is entering, because we were so careful with the people that initialized with the trusted seed, that I think that we should continue being careful with the people that joins, and that they feel that they would tribute to the common pool by entering, and also that yeah that yeah that we don't stimulate people just to come for the volatility. Yeah, I don't really like that much that approach of safety, but I totally respect it.
Yeah, totally. Totally. But the thing is, like, if like, if you buy TC for 16%, which, yeah, it's kind of some money, then when you're going to sell, like, since there is no liquidity, like, you are going to be, like, probably, like, the first people who can sell on secondary markets. Like, do you think, like, they want to use it more to exit outside instead of on the bonding curve, because also a very high exit tribute?
Well, I think that that on that we can have some sort of arbitrage with the secondary markets, and yeah, I really like to have the control of the emission of the token, and I feel that if we have that control and that clarity within the bonding curve, we should be able to also have some sort of control within secondary markets.
Yeah, awesome.
I want to add that this proposal is very Juanca of you, and I like it that we have that perspective of Juanca here.
The common
Yeah,
pool seems a little. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Wonka.
one of the things that I really reflected on is on the token freeze and the token thaw. And like I like the people who say like, hey, we need short freezes and short thaw, and like what's the fear? But actually, I think that this is something that could be beneficial for the community, because this would actually take care for the people to not make silly decisions of selling yeah, in the like really quickly. That there's people that because of lack of experience can do it, and in this thing is actually better for them and for the market to wait a little bit longer.
Do you think that's enough money in the common pool? Only $500,000, and then I mean the tribute will help a little bit, maybe get it to almost 600K. But is that enough money to accomplish our mission?
Yeah, we were discussing about this yesterday, and I was reflecting on this while in the conversation. So yeah, maybe it would be good to have a bigger common pool, but yeah, I also think that when we enter into the market, maybe a lot of people can join and actually make bigger our common pool with other strategies.
Nice. Anyone have any other final thoughts?
I don't know. It's just the tributes are slightly high, which makes me wonder, like, how do we incentivize people to buy in? It's most probably people that are aligned with public goods, but like, that's only a few people, and I think like the bonding curve benefits from more people entering and exit, right? Uh, so yeah, that's something that I'm wondering about.
Yeah, I think that the value aligned people are our people, and we should stick with them. And like, yeah, like count on people that is value aligned and not really messing with that dark side, because there's like really bad intention people, and yeah.
Great. I just want to check in. 5IV and Nate, you guys came in, and Henry. No, Henry, you were here. Craig, did you guys have proposals you wanted to present or debate?
No, this is my first time, so just listening and learning.
Yeah, me too, Griff. Just listening.
I'm also listening in for now.
I'm listening. I could present one, but yeah, it's
Okay.
up to you guys.
You and Zep can fight over the last slot, but I believe this one is for Yanesi to present her proposal.
Gotcha.
So yeah, maybe DM Nate, Zep, you guys debate on who wants to take it. Yanesi, you wanna get started? Share screen and take us away.
Okay. Here you go. I'm still learning, okay? So.
No worries. And do you guys think we should put music on during the debates? Or is it serious, no music?
Music would be nice.
I like a
Music,
little background music. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll put on some music. Hey, just so you know, if it gets really loud, you can turn down the bot.
So,
Go for it, Nancy.
okay, this is my idea, my empowerment. So I decide to start with an opening price of 1.7 per guy and token freeze of 24 weeks and a token hold of 8 weeks. I think having a year or half a year is enough time to have this initialize the process. And speaking about the augmented bonding curve with this opening price, I think or I believe that having a 60% of in the commons pool will be enough to start any additional proposal in the future with an entry tribute of 5% and that will allow people to participate, and with an exit tribute of 20% to avoid people to quit or and keep them in the trapped years. And yes, I consider that will be enough. We will have a reserve ratio of 50.17%. And yes, as I said, a common pool at launch of this quantity that I think that's pretty much enough. Yeah. Go to the next one, and speaking about the Tau voting process. I consider an 80% of support is a great number. It is not as lower as 50 or more than 19. A minimum quorum of 20% will be necessary to support that voting, and the duration. Speaking about the duration, it will be in 30 days. And the delegated voting period will be in 50 days. I think that's a great space of time to understand the process and to take a great decision about the voting about a certain proposal. And after that, the quiet ending period will be 8 days and 3 days for the quiet ending extension. And I'm speaking about the execution. 12 hours, that's enough. And yeah, and speaking about the requesting funds for a project, I set it in the spending limit of 35%, with a minimum conviction of 5% and with a growth conviction with a 15 days. So this is what I have created. I think the results are very nice. So if you have questions, this is time for you.
Wow, fantastic proposal, Yanesi. Fantastic proposal. Round of applause. Round of applause.
Oh,
And right on time. 15 seconds bonus. Thank you so much. So, does anyone have any questions for Yanesi?
Why the exit tribute? Like, there is a long vesting, so and the exit tribute is kinda high. What's the reasoning behind?
Well, I think that provides a kind of exclusivity to the people that is here taking decisions about this 1.5 million economy. So that's it, as I said, is to avoid them to going out somehow. Or maybe it seems like I'm a little bit dictator here.
Yeah, I have to agree with Seth though on the. I think that because there are no tokens out yet and the vesting's long, there'll be mostly buying at the beginning. So I kind of like a higher entry. I'm liking what people are picking up on the higher entry tribute, and then we lower it over time by voting to change it. What do you think? What do you think about that idea? Or would you what do you think you're going to have votes to change the entry and exit tribute with this proposal?
Yeah, I consider that maybe that's a good idea, Griff. To lower the exit tribute when maybe by setting it like 7%.
Nice. Another one that I'm curious about is 30 days on the DAO voting. That seems like a really long time. Like to pass a vote. Is there and I think it makes sense with like the 20% quorum makes sense considering the 30-day duration. But like, do you think, yeah, why so long? Why not make it shorter?
At the beginning, I started with a vote duration of 7 days, actually. But then I don't know. I consider that maybe people need more time to understand the weight of their vote. Maybe because of that.
Nice. I love your bonding curves, like design though with the commons tribute and opening price. I think it's spot on. 800K in the conviction voting pool is nice. Does anyone else have any thoughts here?
I think. Oh, did we move the? Did we change the exit tribute?
She lowered it a little, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's good. I just think when the exit tribute is higher than the entry tribute, it's kind of like Hotel California. You know, you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. It doesn't seem fair to me, but I don't know, because I'm weird. Other than the commons tribute is 60%, I kind of like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, nice work, Casey, and time is up. So let's so Nate or Zep, who wants to take it?
Nate, take it.
Okay, I'll take it. For some reason, I can't find my proposal, but I'll do it just directly from the dashboards. So, give me 1 second.
I love this song.
So, if it, let's see, Metaverde, you're gonna love this one because I took the extreme on this one. This one's called "Enjoy Your Stay," and so. Get ready for some wild one. So we're gonna have an opening price of $1, token freeze for 18 weeks.
Such a lovely place.
Yeah, and we're gonna try to make it nice. Token thaw is gonna be for 78 weeks. So a good long period for the thaw to occur. And the augmented bonding curve. So here it is. We have 45% commons tribute. The entry tribute is of 1, and the exit tribute is of 40%. So it really incentivizes you to stay once you get in, and then we do this under the premise that we know that we're going to change the exit tribute and entry tribute parameters later on. But early on, we want to invite as many people who are value aligned, basically tax free. Say, hey, come and join our economy. Don't leave, because if you leave now, we're going to go. And so even if you're doing this for speculation, you say, hey, I want to buy a bunch of tokens and raise the price of the commons pool. You're now here. You're not going to take a 40% loss just to exit. You're going to come into the TEC and you're going to say, hey, how do we lower this? And then all of a sudden, you're going to meet the community. You're going to love it here. You're going to enjoy your stay. You're going to start participating. You're going to join the working groups. And then all of a sudden, you're growing into this big, attractive community that even DGen Dave didn't think he'd be a part of. And so, because he doesn't want to take that 40% loss. And so it's a beautiful thing. Oh no, let's see. And then, so that's the way it goes. And so it's got a good, it's got 567,000 in the common pool, a reserve ratio of around 35, which is really nice. So it's nice price volatility, not too bad. Modifying the commons 78 8 10 7 3 2 3. This is kind of my standard that I think is really good. Good quorum, good support required, good amount of time for a vote to happen, but not too long to where it just postpones things. But then again, with Tau voting, I feel like these votes are, talking about augmenting the DAO itself, and so it should have a decent amount of time. I don't like the whole let's quickly vote on things all the time. And then the of course been holding on to the Irajani conviction voting. So and so that's basically it. Yeah.
Wow, what a proposal! Sorry, did you have anything else to say before we clap?
No. Go clap away.
What a proposal! Fantastic. Enjoy your stay. Well, okay, so let me start the timer. Who's got questions?
I have one. Oh.
Go ahead.
Is the token transferable or not?
Yes.
And okay, and then how are you? People might be exiting on the secondary market. Would that a thing you think it's good because if they're exiting there, we're not minting new tokens, which maybe is the goal of your strategy. But that's the only thing I would love some clarification.
Yeah, I think on secondary markets you have with a low entry tribute, you have a lot of you can easily enter it from an arbitrage opportunity on the buy side of things, but it's very hard to justify selling into the curve based off of it has to be very big difference on a secondary market. But
we don't want people selling into the curve.
What was that, Metaverde?
Yeah, we don't want people selling into the curve.
Not at the beginning. I would like it to if you're selling into the curve, you're lowering the price, and that's not something I would like to see, especially even if it's in an arbitrage scenario. I would like to see it go, okay, we can buy into it, we can keep pushing the price up, but we can't keep pushing it down.
I thought as long as there was the freeze that the price couldn't go below the opening price. I mean, that was my understanding from what I've been told.
That is true, yeah.
Okay, so then if the token is transferable and the exit tribute's really high and we're creating a secondary market, then don't we end up with effectively two separate prices?
That is true, yeah.
So, okay, I don't know the implications. I'll stop.
So I would have just assumed that when the price is really low, way below the selling of the bonding curve, then you would have nobody selling into the curve at all. And you just have a market that's focused on the secondary market. And usually you're just going to have buy-side interest into it, but I could be wrong on that. And if it goes past yeah, go ahead, Griff. Sorry.
If you want to, I'm going to change the subject. So if you want to finish your thought, you should finish your thought.
I was just going to say that I think that if it'll eventually go towards pushing to buy side pressure on something like that eventually, because at some point it's going to pass the price of the bonding curve, and then the bonding curve is going to take over again. So you're just slowly just pushing the price up over time. But that's my only thought. I don't know if that's wrong.
I'm curious about like DeFi, Degen Dan. Degen Dan's like if the goal is to trap Degen Dan, then how come you have such a high reserve ratio? Why not make it more DeFi casino like and throw more money in the common pool so that we have more funds?
Higher entry tribute, you mean?
No, not the. I'm not even. I'm not talking about the entry tribute. I'm talking about the commons tribute, like increasing the commons tribute and therefore reducing the reserve ratio, so that you get more price volatility. Like if you look at the chart, there isn't that much price volatility, and because the reserve ratio is so high, and you also don't have very much money in the common pool at launch. And if the goal is to trap DeFi Dan or Degen Dan, then I feel like you'd be better off with a lower reserve ratio. And the easiest way to get a lower reserve ratio is, of course, to stack money for PE public goods.
That's true. And I think that this is more about trapping individuals to engage in the conversation about changing the exit and entry tribute. So it just forces people to talk about the parameters that we're all operating under, and getting them interested in the actual tech rather than saying, okay, let's have this kind of trading bonanza on our bonding curve, which does raise funds. But I think this type of strategy kind of pulls people in and says, hey, you're kind of locked in here, but let's have a conversation while you're here and see if you want to participate in something like this, knowing that we'll eventually lower it down and they can leave if they choose. But this is kind of a recruitment tool.
Well done. Let me just kill this. Stop. Well done. Amazing. This was a great first debate. Man, I learned a lot. I really like the diversity of proposals here. Thank you all for participating. And hopefully we can get a few more debates on the calendar. I don't know if anyone in here wants to host some debates, but if you don't have calendar access, feel free to DM me and I'll add you to the calendar. So that we can host more debates in this channel, because I think maybe we should have started the debates early. Man, I got a lot out of that. So thank you all, and congratulations. Great parameter sets. Thank you, Wonka, Nate, Yanesi, and Zeptimus, of course, for joining in.
Thanks, Griff, for hosting it.
Yeah,
Thanks, y'all. This was great.
Thanks, everyone. See you later.